So we have we have a network, we have our identity, but then all of it will lead to some value. It will, and like all these interactions should lead to some type of value, and those value can be n number of things. It could be a transaction between two people. It can be just like a communication between two people, exchange of services between two people, and like all different sorts of things. So like what all can be covered up in this value scenario? That's the main point of
Yeah,
all.
so we make it really, really simple, right? If you want to make
Mm.
it drop dead simple,
Mm.
value is when two parties are, let's say two is the simplest case, right? Like two parties
Mm.
are interacting.
Mm.
And if I put me in the picture now, if I'm
Mm.
interacting with a counterparty,
Mm.
value is if I see something that I like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
value,
Yeah.
right? If I see something I like, which if I acquire will make
Mm.
me feel more than I was before, or better,
Mm.
or whatever,
Mm.
in some
Mm.
qualitative sense,
Mm.
then this qualitative feeling will translate into my saying that I see value here.
Yeah. Mm.
The value is from the perspective of the beholder as well
Mm.
as the perspective of the buyer.
Mm.
Okay, because only the buying is the real value.
Mm.
Like the pig and the cow and that whole analogy. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
that one. In the Scrum teams, they used to
Mm.
have this where executives will, listen in on the calls and stuff like that, the stand-up meetings and things. And there's this notion of I think it's the chicken is involved, because there's the breakfast morning call and all that. So it lays an egg, and you have the egg in the breakfast. But the pig is committed because it's like the pork, it's like the ham, right? So only the people who are committed are allowed to speak. People who are involved are not allowed to talk. They can observe.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. So I mean, like,
so what I was saying with that is, a lot of people come and see and may
Mm.
find value and they say very nice,
Yeah.
but ultimately it's only the person who's giving you the money
Yeah.
that's the actual committing
the
to
actual
that value. The
Mm.
realization of that value happens when a transaction occurs that involves the exchange of that said offer with something that the exchange was denominated in. So that exchange transfer, that transaction itself is the only indication of value.
And I think right now in the current scenario, the big networks who have billions of users with them really latch on to this value, and the conversion rates are like not very high. We have like 1% or 2% or 3% conversions from interest to actual transaction that leads to actual transaction. And this is where I think that a lot of big money is going in, and this is where a little like a lot of diplomacy, or a lot of uh, what do I say, openness is required, where you pay when only there is an actual value, not just the interest of people, or not just like clicks or things like that.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? You've got to have alternatives.
Yeah.
If there is no alternative, TINA, there is no alternative, you don't have a choice. So that's the situation today. There is no real way on the internet because of the walled gardens, how you are able to hide information about some content usage. Let's say, I'm creator and I create a piece of content and I share it on Facebook. They have any and every right and opportunity to hide from me the content consumption information, like who watched it or who clicked it and all that. Even though I give you my content for free and you say you're a social platform and all that, and not just Facebook, by the way, this is everybody, right?
This is everybody.
Every single centralized network. I'm just using Facebook as a catch-all, and I'm sorry to do that. Frankly, we all love Facebook, right? We use it.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
I mean, it's stupid to bash, stuff, right? In that sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can bash the business model because there are better and more, I think, humane ways to operate in a social platform, right? If you're not human on a social platform, it's a little bit, why call it social? But, maybe that's why they changed their name now. They don't want to be social anymore. Because people are going to be like, wait a minute, they're not social. But the point is that people find value today because there is no other alternative. They have no other way to reach large audiences, right? So what are you going to do? Right? I mean, actually, let's rephrase that. Actually, there is, going back to media companies, traditional newspapers and magazines, frankly, is probably going to work a lot better today.
Okay.
Because
How so?
It's a complete overload. If I send you a nicely crafted, handwritten, something in the mail, which is different from other things, I suspect that you're going to open that today because you don't get any of those things.
Okay. Yeah. Like, now
right?
I understand. Yeah.
It's as simple
it will
as
be
that.
different.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's as simple as that. If I create a network where I can pay somebody to craft a beautiful handwritten thing, with my note written, and then it gets mailed, I mean, maybe there's a whole market for that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there could be, because I think, even opening like clicks on emails or opening your mails is still a race right now.
Yeah. So the point being that this is all, fraud, infused, hard to track, metrics that have no, you don't have any way of verifying it. So, I mean, it is what it is. For example, if I buy 100 clicks on any platform and I get a conversion 1%, typically, so let's say Kritika bought the product, that's my proof that, it worked, 1%, but I paid for 100 clicks, right? If I ask them, hey, what happened? Who are the other 99 clicks that I paid for? What is the answer, right?
Yeah.
So they will not, so maybe it's not there. Maybe it's there, who knows, right? I mean, you've got to really trust that network. So in my opinion, that's not going to change. And that's not like it's not a good or a bad thing, right? People find value in paying these networks money to get their message on top of whatever pages. So there is value perceived by the one who's spending it.
Yeah.
There is no alternative, there's no tracking, all those problems are also there, but given everything, they find value.
Yeah. That's why they're doing that transaction, because
that's why they're doing that.
Yeah.
In the new world, they will continue to do the old thing. It doesn't go away because you still need to reach lots of people and this and that and to bootstrap anything. But over time, your natural networks that are being today, already people are clicking and sharing and doing all that stuff. That natural activity of the internet should also become directly captured by the one doing it. Today, it's not captured by the one doing it. The value of it, ultimate value. Remember, the ultimate value is the transaction. So we're only after the ultimate value because we cannot verify this other value anyways. I don't know if there is actually a click behind it or not. But I can tell you there is a purchase.
That's
right? And I can tell you
that's trackable.
This is exact, right? So this is all there is real value to be identified, and then figure out who is it that helped you co-create this value and directly pay them part of the profit, not Facebook or any network as an entire like HTTP network taking credit for everything, right? That happened there and just kicking out all the users and saying, no, I took credit for everything, right? Which is just totally ridiculous, right? That's not social. Right?
Yeah, the actual people who contributed in the entire chain from the initiation up till the end transaction, they need to be compensated for their effort.
And I'm talking about the direct value, not this fake value in the middle. And that also, by the way, if you're going to, make some fake value and sell it, fine, then pay that out too. But at least the direct value, which is something very concrete and very specific, can easily be tracked and paid out if there is the desire to do so. And of course, with our technology now and unique stuff, anybody can do this immediately, right? You can immediately start to create value networks where whatever is happening is being captured by the people doing it. And then they enable more and more and more of these transactions because everybody wins. There's a 5% automatic empowerment fee or a connection fee that is paid out to the one that brought you in. There is no, it's a human chain of empowerment. The more people you tell, it's the knowledge economy. This is what the internet had been for, but it got hijacked by these, barriers to the flow of value. You know, they've created these big walled gardens which obstruct the flow of value, right? Like I can't do certain things because they won't let me, even though the HTTP internet is totally open on top of which they are built.
But it's their layer, so it's walled.
Totally walled. And it's fine to build walled gardens. You've got to build safe communities and you've got to have lots of controls because you are a government, you know, in any platform, any small or big or anything, right? Even a small store, you will not let any random, you know, it says we reserve the rights to, it says on every door, right? To refuse a service to anybody. So this is how you run your space. It's a space, it's a real space. And so it's okay to have your rules and all those things. And so people can judge your rules, right? Now the future is going to be which platforms can I clearly see value in, which ones are so complicated to delete my data or turn off my settings. I mean, there's like 15,000 settings for some simple stuff versus, hey, totally transparent, simple networks where you're just, you know, passing through very simple value. You're passing all the value through, you know, transparent networks.
So people looking for value will have a choice where they want to opt for and what they want to go for. Everything will be open.
And the function of the different things will be taken out of these platforms. The function. So Facebook is a place where you can go and share cat pictures and catch up with your friends and stuff, but it has nothing to do with shopping. I mean, it doesn't. You can discover lots of stuff, but the shopping ultimately is between the buyer and the seller. Not Facebook at all, like zero. You know, they can facilitate it, and they will, and they are. But just like Apple and Google, if they start to, you know, they're not taking 30% from what I understand, at least now.
They're not.
And maybe they never will, right? But that's what this is, right? You've got to have vertical, you know, networks down the line, and you're going to have direct one-to-one relationships down the line, because it's the creator economy. Tomorrow, when I want to buy something, I will not be going to Amazon. I will direct, it's like, you know, that personal shopping, personal shoppers, so to speak. You know, the experts, you will directly tune into the expert and they will directly do a one-on-one transaction with you. You know, whether it's their avatar or it's their agent or it's their team or whatever, you're going to be directly talking to the people that you like, from who you will buy things. You know,
and I think it's happening more and more on day-to-day basis. I mean, like, even if you see Instagram or anywhere, the creator economy is taking more hold of the transactions than the actual, like, going to a marketplace and then shopping, rather than like having like been blown or having been gotten interested by a creator and then looking to that, and then there is an entire journey right now going on in the creator economy.
Absolutely. And it's like the people first, you know,
the people first
principle, you know, so it's not about which platform, it's directly about the person.
You know? It's about the person watching, or it's about the person whom you are communicating with.
Right. So yeah, that's exciting times for I think the authentic internet, you know, or the actual internet.
Really exciting.